has not always been my favorite character. When he was first introduced, I thought he was just created to replace Peter Parker. Because in Ultimate Comics, Peter dies, and Miles gets bitten by a spider at Visions Academy or something. But over the years, he has grown on me as a character. Like a lot. Then he had Spider-Man, which was pretty good. Then he started making his debut in animation, Ultimate Spider-Man, the cartoon series. And then Marvel's Spider-Man happened. And that was really the first time it was ever in a game. I think he was mentioned in Spider-Man Homecoming. But again, this is also thanks to Into the Spider-Verse, because that one really opened a lot of doors for these other characters. And I could also have to thank Brian Michael Bendis for having the strength to make a character like this. He got a lot of hate for it, I'm sure. But I think a lot of people come around on the character, myself included. But my reasons for liking this particular story. I know it's a short game, but here's why it's good. Miles is not Peter. Doesn't have a massive rogues gallery or a large supporting cast. What, he's like 16 in this? He's a kid. Peter's been doing this since he was 15. He's like 8 years in the game. And Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man has had 50 years plus of comics. Years of comics. Miles doesn't really have that much history in the comics. He's been through quite a few stuff, but nothing that would make me say like, oh, this needs to be longer or something. Like, no, length of the story is fine. Not everything needs to be as long as The Witcher 3. And The Witcher, nothing wrong with The Witcher 3, I'm just saying. We've always trying about how long a game is, like Last of Us or something, but if it's too short, then people still cry. So what do you want? It told a story. The story was good. And Spider-Man's a moneymaker for Sony. So there's going to be sequels. Especially with both Spider-Man around. So much potential for more stories and crossovers. We got Roxxon introduced. Roxxon, spoilers, is the birthplace of Cloak and Dagger in the comics. And Harlem is also the home of Luke Cage. So, hopefully we get a team up down the line. I wouldn't be surprised if Cloak and Dagger are introduced in the next Spider-Man game, either Miles' story or Peter Parker's story, like a side subplot or something, on Brooklyn Visions Academy. I think that would be pretty cool. I think they should definitely look into the Young Avengers type of thing. I don't know how they can introduce the other Avengers, especially with the other game around. But I gotta say that I think one of my favorite characters in this particular story is probably Finn. As annoying as she is at some points in the story, her motivations make complete sense. I almost wanted her to blow up Roxxon myself. I'm like, you know what? She's got a point. But at the same time, once you realize that she's gonna blow up Harlem, spoilers, I was like, yeah, well, there's more than one way to do this. And turn into a movie like in Spider-Man 2 back in the day, when Dr. Octopus sacrificed himself to save New York by destroying the machine he created. So he went down as a hero, and so did she. And I gotta say, it was kind of sad to see her go. I was kind of shocked, really. I'm like, huh. I don't know why I thought that she could be potentially part of the new Sinister Six down the line, but clearly that's off the table now. But I'm excited to see where they go next. I really am. And once you beat the story, you get to unlock the Spider Cat. You have to do one of the side missions first, but it's actually kind of funny having a little cat in your backpack and just swinging around. It's hilarious. But yeah, the main complaint I hear from people online is probably that, oh, it's still such a short story, and told the story you need to tell, nothing more. You need to make room for sequels, people. Spider-Man is a money maker, no matter who's behind the mask. Speaking of which, I hope that there's plans for more spin-offs. Really open the door to Spider-Gwen or Noir 2099. So much potential. This is only the beginning, I think. This could very easily be bigger than the Arkham series. And I love the Arkham games. So, I'm not saying that lightly. When you really think about it, the two biggest characters in comic books, Spider-Man and Batman, so no surprise there. I mean, whatever Insomniac does, I'm looking forward to it. And Kirk Connors, spoilers, is also introduced in credits. So I'm curious how they're going to handle that, because Lizard and Doc Octopus are kind of similar as far as being scientists that go crazy. So hopefully they'll do something a little bit more of a twist than the generic, oh, he lost his arm, so now he's going to be insane or something. Like, do something different. Like, I'm open to surprises. And I love seeing the Prowler, Aaron Davis. But that was awesome. Nice little team up there. It wasn't any of the trailers, so I was kind of like, huh, I wonder where Aaron Davis is. I know he exists. You can't have Miles Morales Spider-Man without Aaron Davis. The story was told well, so no problems there at all. And that soundtrack is unbelievable. Unbelievable. By Jaden Smith. Listen to one of the songs, I'm Ready. It plays at the end of the game. End credits. Like, I gotta buy this one. Like, add it to my Marvel playlist on my phone. So much potential. So much. But it's like, this is really good, actually, because in the comics, Peter dies before Miles becomes the new Spider-Man. And it's a whole thing, but fortunately Peter's alive and well. He dies assholed by the Rhino. I'm like, oh, shocker. I mean, at least it's the Rhino, not the Kingpin this time, because the Kingpin fight made no sense. I heard that PS5 exclusives are going to start around 2022. There's obviously more titles being released next year and whatnot, but I'm going to assume that's when the new Spider-Man game will be released. So we'll probably start seeing announcements in this coming year, 2021. I really want to see the Goblin. I really do. Like, I want to see the Goblin done right for once. He hasn't appeared in that many games, but times he has shown up, it's been awful. So hopefully Insomniac can spice it up a little bit. I'm not talking about Ultimate Goblin. I want the classic Goblin, green and purple suit, the glider, pumpkin bombs, everything. Like, go all out. There's no excuse. I don't want to see Venom anytime soon. Like, we need to build up the Venom. Venom needs a lot of development before we can even consider him. And when Venom does show up, I want Peter and Miles to fight him. There needs to be a big-time team-up. Spider-Man's never been able to fight Venom on his own because he's developed those spider sense. So, where Peter might be a little weaker in that particular fight, Miles could give him an advantage. Unless Miles is the one that wears the symbiote. It could be an interesting twist. I mean, why not? Again, do something different. And I'll say this. Imagine if Insomniac had developed that Avengers game. Oh my gosh. Let's just say a lot more people are probably playing it right now. Again, nothing against Crystal Dynamics. I love the Tomb Raider games, but let's be honest. Insomniac should have definitely made that Avengers game. I got that song in my head. Oh my gosh. But if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it 9 out of 10. Actually, yeah, 9 out of 10. Pretty damn good. Side missions are good. There's only a couple scattered across the city. He's only in Harlem, so there's not this massive map or anything. Like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, remember? So there's some. Roxxon is the birthplace of Cloak and Dagger, so hopefully we'll get to see them down the line. Luke Cage is also a resident of Harlem. If anyone's watched the Luke Cage series on Netflix, you know that. But so much potential for this series, I'm telling you. Doors have been opened. So really think Into the Spider-Verse, because that's what really started all of this. Well, actually, Brian Michael Bendis started all of this, but naturally. Can't wait to see what happens next.